a dozen different common pleas judges right here in Berks County. 2 of those judges are actually deceased now, Judge Edenharter and Judge Hess. And I don't mean just once, I mean multiple times. In the few years that I was a prosecutor, I had to do over 50 jury trials. There were times, because our staff was so short, that I was doing 2 jury trials in a week. Now imagine that, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine the pressure and the stress that goes along with doing 2 jury trials in 1 week. That means I had to learn pretty much right out of law school how to think on my feet and how to handle criminal trials. From there, I moved into private practice, where I have been a private practice attorney for the last 26 years. I was a shareholder at the Redding firm of Bingham & Hess, Koblenz & Bell, and now for the last 4 years I've been practicing with Chris Hartman, Paul Essick, Larry Valeriano, and Elizabeth McGovern. During the course of those 26 years, I have done civil jury trials and non-jury trials in 14 different counties all over eastern Pennsylvania. I have met many of you on the streets, in the markets, in the restaurants. I've introduced myself and I've shook hands. And when I tell people that fact, I initially get, wow. And I can tell you it is wow. We have 8 attorneys that are running for judge. I can pretty much guarantee you that none of them have done the number of trials, arbitrations, and mediations that I have done in my almost 30 years as a practicing attorney. In addition to practicing in all those different common pleas courts throughout eastern Pennsylvania, but predominantly here in Berks County, where I have practiced for 30 years, I also practice in federal court. About 10 years ago, I finished a federal trial, and the federal judge was so impressed with my abilities as an attorney, he approached me and asked me to be a certified federal mediator. It took 3 days of training, but for the last 10 years, I have been a certified federal mediator. I am also the only candidate that's running that can say that. What does that mean? Just this past week, I got an email from a federal judge requesting that I sit and serve as a mediator in a federal case. These cases are oftentimes at least 6 figures and sometimes 7 figures. On a personal note, I also mentioned to you that I've been married 30 years, and the biggest success that I can stand in front of you and tell you is my 2 adult children. My daughter Jennifer is a certified public accountant in Philadelphia, and my son Patrick is a programmer for a company in North Jersey. I have numerous endorsements from local politicians that I don't want to get into because my time is limited. But I also want to tell you that I am on the board of the Berks County chapter of the American Red Cross. In 2012, I won their Helping Hands Award. For almost 8 years, I ran the Heroes Breakfast, which is coming up in a few weeks. And I've also volunteered for the Olive Boys and Girls Club, spent 6 years on my church council and my church finance council. I'm a well-rounded individual, and I believe, just as importantly as my technical ability, I have the demeanor to be an effective judge. Thank you very much.
Thank you, panelists. We're a little bit behind, but bear with us. We can handle a question or two if there's any out there that has any questions for the panelists. No questions? You're going to help me on my clock, but I would encourage, they'll be back here. All of the candidates, hopefully, will be hanging around in the back, all 8 of them. 3 of them will be judges, but now they're still candidates. So if you'd like to help them with their campaign or you have questions, please do at the end of the program. Okay, thank you, folks.